typical London weather, Heather.
No, it wasn't like this the day I had my accident. It was a beautiful sunny day.
Heather and I were recently in London together. She took me to the place where she was walking that summer day in 1993 with her then boyfriend, about to cross the street.
And I came up to this curb. 2 police cars came flying by at 80 miles an hour.
Why were all the police and the motorcycles streaking down the street?
Because Princess Diana lived in Kensington Palace, which is across the road there, and she'd accidentally given a false alarm. A red double-decker bus just like this one that's coming by now was actually parked, and it was blocking my view. You can see how big they are, so I couldn't see behind it.
And behind it was the...
Behind it came the police motorcycle. Took another step. Police motorcycle came, chopped my leg off. I flew that way, just over there.
Across the street?
Yeah.
So you're lying there,
yeah,
the leg is here,
yeah.
the cars are going by.
Yeah. The cars were going around the leg, going, what on earth is this in the middle of the road? And there was blood everywhere. I'm just lying over there, watching my leg, thinking, what on earth is it doing over there?
You were unconscious for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
When you awoke, did you know that your leg was gone?
No, I felt that my leg was still there. I was more concerned about my pelvis. But my sister came in and she said, it was very difficult for her because she said, Heather, you know, you've lost your leg. And I was like, never mind my leg, what about my pelvis? This is really painful.
You didn't sob? You didn't cry?
No,
You didn't say, my life is ruined? This young, beautiful woman who had been a model?
I cried later on when I was, you know, tried to get up and forgot my leg wasn't there and took a step and went straight onto the stump. That was agony. I also thought I was a swimsuit model. They can shoot just above the knee. So I immediately went into what the solutions would be, which is how I think of everything.
Her solution was to cash in on her accident by selling her story to the tabloids. She says she made nearly $250,000.
It was purely selfish and survival. I thought, why should I give them a story? You know, I need to start earning some money to survive.
You became a celebrity.
Yeah. What came from that were thousands of letters from the public, motivated and inspired by somebody who could just lose a limb and get on with it.
Getting on with it meant being able to resume an athletic lifestyle. Heather herself has 5 prosthetics for various occasions. This is her with her skiing leg. She also has prosthetics for tennis, jogging, and one she used to learn to rollerblade. What she also learned, she says, was that there were some 75,000 amputees in the UK, most with extra prosthetics that no longer fit. She launched a campaign to redistribute thousands of spare limbs to amputees who had none. 1 year after the loss of her own leg, Heather returned to Croatia during the middle of the war to offer limbs to those in need.
I think the first child that we fitted up, Martina, moved me the most because he was a young girl who'd lost her leg from a landmine and some of her fingers. And her parents were very poor, so they could never afford to pay anyone to make a limb. I was just very gentle with her, and when I showed her my leg, she just felt that, you know, it wasn't such a bad thing. There was a young man who was an ex-soldier. He'd lost his leg from a landmine, and he was really, really depressed. I just sat next to him and showed him that my injury was the same as his. We both had our legs missing, the same leg, same position, same amount of residual limb left. And I was just explaining to him that he could still ski and rollerblade and do all those things.
Do you think that your accident, your losing your leg, happened for a reason?
I definitely lost my leg for a reason, without a doubt. There is no way. I mean, now people are walking that wouldn't be walking had I not lost my leg.
So far, her organization has given away 27,000 limbs, many of them going to landmine victims. Like Princess Diana before her, Heather's passion is today aimed at ending the death and devastation caused by the more than 60 million landmines buried throughout the world. Recently, she joined forces with Adopt a Minefield, a campaign that not only raises awareness, but is dedicated to the dangerous work of clearing mines. And through her charitable work, she started a romance she never expected with Beatles legend Paul McCartney. You were a presenter at a charity benefit, and a man named Paul McCartney was there. And he was evidently very impressed with you. Did you meet him that night?
No, I didn't meet him.
Had you been a Beatles fan?
No, I didn't know anything about it.
Really?
Hardly at all. I liked Wings.
After this, he telephoned you. Were you amazed? Did you say, oh, come on, you must be kidding?
I thought it was a joke, so I
Yeah.
didn't return the call. And then I found out that it was, that he was interested in the charity.
You and Paul McCartney made a video together.
So it was called Voice, and it was a message of giving people with disabilities a voice and hearing them and understanding them. And then at the end, my leg comes off, so people get the message that you can't always tell or see a disability.
Paul McCartney agreed to sing on this.
He did. I never asked him because I was looking for some gospel singers, and I couldn't find any on time, and I said, do you know anybody? And he said, I'll do it.
I'd like to now call upon all the people of the world to call for a total ban on landmines.
Since then, McCartney has joined Heather in her humanitarian work.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Heather Mills.
2 months ago, they appeared together in Geneva at a UN conference on banning landmines.
I feel that we're all here in life to make a difference.
Paul McCartney has said that you two are an item.
He's my boyfriend.
He's your boyfriend. What does that mean?
He's my boyfriend, like any other couple. He's a lovely, wonderful guy.
Is it very hard trying to have a relationship with the kind of scrutiny that you and he are under, especially when you're in London?
It is, because I'm a very sort of open, say what I think, honest type person. And now I have to be much more guarded and protect the privacy of him and his family. I have to respect that, because it can be tabloid headlines the next day.
You have been married once. You have been engaged 3 times. Do you think you have a problem with long-term relationships?
If you think I'm 32 and I've only ever had 5 boyfriends, I think I'm pretty good. And I'm just a true romantic, you know. My friends always say, you'll never find that knight in shining armour. I'm very romantic and very generous, and I dream about finding somebody like that.
Have you found your knight in shining armour?
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so.